On May 19, 2016, EgyptAir Flight 804 departed Paris for Cairo, carrying 66 passengers and crew into the night sky. For the first 3 hours, the flight proceeded completely on schedule. At 37,000 feet, the cockpit voice recorder captured a sudden, sharp hissing sound. This was followed by a metallic pop and a second, more aggressive hiss. Seconds later, the captain, co-pilot, and a flight attendant all shouted the same word: fire. Immediately, the aircraft's internal systems began a cascading failure. The flight data recorder logged a rapid succession of warnings, starting with lavatory smoke, quickly followed by avionic smoke, triggering master alarms throughout the cockpit. Air traffic control attempted to make contact, but received only silence. On radar, the A320 banks sharply 90 degrees to the left, whips into a sweeping 360-degree right turn, and plummets from cruising altitude before dropping off the screens entirely. It took nearly a month of searching the Mediterranean to locate the wreckage and dredge the flight recorders from the seabed. In most aviation disasters, recovering the black boxes provides the answers needed for closure. The data extracted from Flight 804 instead ignited a bitter international dispute. Investigators from 2 different nations looked at the exact same sequence of recorded data and arrived at 2 completely irreconcilable explanations for the fire. The primary investigating body was the Egyptian Civil Aviation Authority. After an exhaustive 8-year process, they released their official finalized report. Their central claim is that the aircraft was destroyed by a catastrophic explosion tearing through the forward galley, positioned directly behind the cockpit wall. To justify this conclusion, the Egyptian authorities pointed to forensic evidence, stating they had discovered traces of TNT on the recovered human remains. According to their timeline, an explosive device detonated and instantly flooded the cockpit with a surge of oxygen. This enriched the resulting fire and thick smoke, disabling the flight crew almost immediately. Concluding that TNT brought down the plane classifies the crash as a deliberate act of malice. This ruling formally clears both the airline and aircraft manufacturer of mechanical negligence or operational errors. By officially classifying the disaster as sabotage, the investigation dictates how the tragedy is handled legally on the world stage, shifting the regulatory focus entirely toward national security and counterterrorism protocols. In aviation investigations, international consensus is the standard, but in a rare departure, the French Bureau of Enquiry and Analysis issued a stark public rebuke of the official Egyptian findings. The French agency noted that their own forensic experts, acting as advisors during the recovery, categorically stated that the presence of TNT was never scientifically validated. Their technical logic relies on the data recorders. An instant bomb explosion would immediately destroy all sensors simultaneously. The French team argued an explosion is incompatible with the sequential, ticking clock pattern of individual smoke warnings logged minute by minute on the black box. Instead, the French investigators proposed a fatal mechanical failure within the cockpit itself. They suspect a pressurized leak originated in the co-pilot's emergency oxygen mask storage box. As this diagram shows, introducing pure pressurized oxygen changes combustion entirely. Intersecting a static electrical spark, it turns into a massive, highly directed flame. Inside the cockpit, this flame acts like a cutting tool, instantly melting through computer power systems and severing primary flight controls. Fighting this type of fire is nearly impossible for a flight crew. Standard cockpit fire extinguishers work by starving a flame of oxygen, making them completely useless against a fire feeding off its own pressurized supply. This mechanical explanation points to a severe vulnerability built right into the aircraft, a fatal flaw hidden inside the oxygen systems designed to keep pilots alive during an emergency. Today, the investigation remains paralyzed by these 2 finalized contradictory stances. Egypt maintains its official ruling of sabotage by explosives, while France insists the cause was a localized mechanical inferno. The sheer violence of the crash and the prolonged submersion of the wreckage destroyed the physical evidence needed to break the tie. Because of this, the precise actions of the pilots in their final minutes will likely never be known. Caught in the middle of this deadlock are the families of the 66 passengers and crew members. They are left looking up a skyline of a destination their loved ones never reached, waiting for a definitive truth. This unresolved split leaves a lingering anxiety over global aviation. Without a unified conclusion, regulators are left guessing whether they need to upgrade airport security to detect new bombs or redesign cockpit oxygen systems to prevent catastrophic fires. Flight recorders are designed to be the ultimate arbiters of truth, cutting through confusion to show exactly what went wrong. But in the case of Flight 804, the black boxes only acted as a mirror, reflecting two entirely different, irreconcilable stories of destruction.